Okay, so if you're in this Google Meet, you have um, acknowledged your consent to be recorded here, and you're okay with your voice or face being recorded during this time. If you're not, hop off now, please, because this meeting is now recorded. Okay, so going into the presentation. So today we're looking at how Japanese society changed during the Meiji Restoration period. Looking at education specifically, the Meiji leaders wanted to reform the education system to bring it closer to those of the West. For a time, they modeled it after the American and French systems. However, in the early 1880s, the leaders decided that education should be based on traditional values and respecting the emperor. Educated individuals would be loyal, dutiful, and create wealth for the country. Some people were critical of the Japanese system, especially with the changes happening in the 1880, where they wanted to emphasize loyalty to the emperor. This sort of system doesn't really encourage free thinking or critical thought at all. It's more modeled around something called indoctrination. And a definition of indoctrination is the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. So to criticize an education system as one that is indoctrination is a serious critique, but one that we do see in countries that are controlled by authoritarians, such as North Korea. So North Korea has an education system devoted to the leader Kim Jong-un and creating loyalty and devotion to the great supreme leader of North Korea. Some people say that even modern education systems, like even in Canada, are a form of indoctrination. Think of that what you will. We'll be looking a bit about how our education system is set up and what our goals are. So, what is the point of education? That's a great question, and you'll likely receive different answers depending on who you ask. I encourage you to ask people in your home right now, like ask them, what do you think the point of education is? And you'll probably get, different answers. In Meiji Japan, the purpose of schools was to teach children what to think. In Canada today, we try and teach children how to think. So we try to give students the knowledge and understanding to think critically and the skills to think critically so that they can adapt and grow in new and novel situations. Here is a link to our actual EPSB mission statement for what is education's goal. And the mission is: we inspire students' success through high quality learning opportunities supported by meaningfully engaged students, families, staff, and community. It goes on to highlight the district priorities. So this is what they want to accomplish. They want to foster growth and success for every student by supporting their journey from early learning through high school completion and beyond. Provide welcoming, high quality learning and working environments. Enhance public education through communication, engagement, and partnership. So some people might say that's trying to indoctrinate you or something, but like I said, our goal is to teach you how to think, not what to think. The rest of society was quite slow to change. So even though the education system had been remodeled, not everyone could afford to go to school. Mainly, like if a family could afford to send a child, it would only be the male child that they would send. Females had the lowest literacy rates in Japan in the population. So male children were the focus, and that's something that we probably could have guessed from this society being more patriarchal and focused on male authority. But, you get stuck in your ways. So traditions, your culture, your heritage, that's all part of your worldview. And it's hard to just totally rewire that in a population. So let's look at some examples here. Traditional family patterns did not change, so fathers were still the authority figures in the household. Class distinctions remained, so common people still looked up to those above them, and upper classes still held prejudices towards the commoners. So the higher class people still looked down on the lower class people and thought, we're better than you, and that was slow to get rid of. Think of that what you will, whether we have that today or not, I'm not sure. Well, we do. Farmers still had difficulty paying their taxes, and many people could not afford to send their children to school. And like I said, if they could, they would usually only send the male children. Now that's it for today. Your task is just to complete the 15.4 worksheet, and please submit it on Google Classroom. Please remember to do that because it makes it a lot easier for me to track.